In a small, dimly lit apartment on the outskirts of the city lives Jay, a 21-year-old rapper with big dreams but an empty stomach. The walls of his humble abode tell a story, covered with posters of legendary rappers and scraps of paper scribbled with his own rhymes. Jay's life is a mix of determination and struggle. Each morning, he wakes up to the sound of sirens outside his window, grabs his battered notebook, and starts writing. Because for him, rap is more than music. It's his lifeline, his escape from the harsh reality of his surroundings. Though his stomach growls from hunger, his heart is full of lyrics and beats that he's determined to share with the world. Jay's life is a constant battle between his passion for music and the relentless grind of reality. By day, he works at a fast food joint, flipping burgers and serving customers who barely notice him. The job is grueling, the pay is meager, and his boss is always on his back. But Jay pushes through, knowing that every dollar he earns goes towards studio time, his ticket to a better life. His body is often weak from skipping meals, but the fire in his eyes never dims. Each day, as he watches people casually spend what he earns in hours, Jay reminds himself why he's doing this. The hunger, the exhaustion, the endless hustle. It's all for his music, for the chance to tell his story through rap. When the sun sets and the city quiets down, Jay retreats into his sanctuary, his room, where the world fades away and his dreams take center stage. He plugs in his old, worn-out headphones, and the beats transport him to another place. A place where he's not just Jay, the guy from the corner of 5th and Main, but Jay, the rapper with a story to tell. He closes his eyes, mouthing the words he's written, feeling every syllable, every rhythm in his bones. In his mind, he's performing in front of thousands, the crowd chanting his name, the lights shining bright. This is the world Jay lives for, a world where his hunger and struggles are worth it, where every verse brings him closer to the dream he's chasing with all he's got. One cold night, after an exhausting shift at the fast food joint, Jay drags himself back to his apartment, hoping for a few hours of rest before diving back into his music. But as he reaches his door, his heart skips a beat. A bright red eviction notice is plastered on it, stark against the dull paint of the door. Panic rises in his chest as he rips the paper off and reads it. The words blur together as the weight of the situation sinks in. He's behind on rent, with no savings to speak of, and now he's out of time. Jay slumps against the door, his mind racing. Where will he go? How will he keep making music? For a moment, it feels like the world is closing in, and the dream he's fought so hard for is slipping away. The hunger in his belly intensifies, not just from lack of food, but from the gnawing fear that he might lose everything he's worked for. Just when it seems like all is lost, Jay's phone rings. It's an unfamiliar number, and he almost doesn't answer, but something tells him to pick up. On the other end is a voice that's both unexpected and life-changing. A local music producer who stumbled upon Jay's tracks online. The producer is impressed with Jay's raw talent and passion and offers him a chance to record in a real studio. Jay's eyes widen in disbelief, his heart pounding with a mixture of relief and excitement. He can't believe it. A real studio, with real equipment, and a real chance to make his mark. For the first time in weeks, a genuine smile spreads across his face. This might be the break he's been praying for. The day of the studio session arrives, and Jay steps into a world he's only ever dreamed of. The studio is sleek, with state-of-the-art equipment that makes Jay feel both excited and nervous. The producer welcomes him warmly, sensing the potential in the young artist. Jay puts on the headphones, takes a deep breath, and steps up to the microphone. As the beat drops, something inside him clicks. He closes his eyes, and the words flow out of him like they've been waiting for this moment all his life. Every verse, every bar, is filled with the emotion of his struggle, his hunger, his dreams. The producer watches, nodding in approval, as Jay pours his soul into the track. For the first time, Jay hears his voice through the speakers, clear and powerful, and he knows this is where he's meant to be. Weeks later, Jay's first single is released. It's not a polished mainstream hit. It's raw, real, and straight from the heart, just like Jay. He's nervous as he watches the track go live, wondering how people will react. But as the hours pass, something incredible happens. The song starts to spread. People are sharing it, talking about it, and connecting with Jay's story. He checks his phone constantly, watching the play count rise, the comments pour in, and the support grow. For the first time, Jay sees the potential for his music to reach beyond his small apartment, to touch people he's never met. It's a surreal moment, as Jay realizes that his voice, his story, is out there in the world, making an impact. As the days turn into weeks, Jay's single starts to gain serious traction. Music blogs pick up the story of the starving artist with a powerful voice, and soon, his name is on everyone's lips. Bigger names in the industry start to take notice, reaching out with words of encouragement and advice. Jay can hardly believe it. He's gone from being an unknown rapper with a dream to a rising star in the making. His social media blows up, with messages from fans, interview requests, and opportunities he never thought possible. But through it all, Jay remains humble, remembering the hunger and struggle that brought him here. He knows this is just the beginning, and he's ready to keep pushing, to keep hustling, to make sure this dream never fades. The ultimate test of a rapper's skill is performing live, and Jay finally gets his chance. He's invited to perform at a local showcase, a small venue but packed with people eager to see the new talent on the scene. Jay steps onto the stage, heart pounding, but the moment the beat drops, everything else fades away. The crowd is electric, feeding off his energy, and as he delivers each verse, the connection between him and the audience grows stronger. This is what he's been dreaming of, standing in front of a crowd, microphone in hand, feeling the rhythm and the words flow through him. The cheers, the applause, the lights, it all feels like a dream. But Jay knows this is real. This is the moment he's been working towards, and he's finally living it. After the show, Jay sits backstage, the adrenaline still coursing through his veins. But now there's a moment of quiet reflection. He looks around the small, cluttered room, and the reality of his journey hits him hard. From the hunger and despair to this moment of triumph, it's been a wild ride. But Jay knows that this is just one chapter in his story. He's proud of how far he's come, but he's also aware of how much further he has to go. The hunger that once gnawed at his belly is now a hunger for more. A hunger to keep growing, to keep creating, to keep pushing the boundaries of what he can achieve. Jay takes a deep breath, feeling a sense of calm wash over him. He's ready for whatever comes next. As Jay leaves the venue, the cool night air hits him, and he feels a renewed sense of purpose. The city lights twinkle in the distance, and for the first time, they seem to beckon him forward, rather than just being a distant backdrop. Jay walks down the street, jacket slung over his shoulder, head held high. He knows there's still a long road ahead, filled with challenges and unknowns, but he's ready for it. The journey that started with hunger and struggle has brought him to this moment of clarity and determination. Jay's not just chasing a dream anymore. He's living it, and he's ready to see where it takes him next. Jay's story is one of hustle, hunger, and heart. From the quiet corners of his small apartment to the bright lights of the stage, Jay has shown that no matter how tough the journey, if you stay true to your passion, you can make your dreams come true. This is just the beginning of Jay's story. Who knows where his music will take him next? But one thing's for sure, Jay's not stopping, and neither is his music. The beat goes on,